Sakuatsu regularly drives Atsumu from dance practice to Osamu's restaurant. And when Atsumu doesn't have practice, Sakuatsu picks him up from Atsumu's apartment. Their interactions are limited to a few words each day. This week, it rained. Atsumu discovered it wasn't a big deal. In fact, it was calming. On a Sunday, he was at his apartment hanging out with Oikoa and Akashi, watching movies and assisting each other with college work. Outside, the rain poured steadily, its rhythmic patter creating a soothing, ambient backdrop that permeated every corner of the house. Inside, they were enjoying warm drinks as they assisted each other with their college work. Amidst their discussions, they delved into the topic of Oikoa's dilemma with confessing to Iwaizumi, debating the best approach with a mix of empathy and humor. Just confess. Not now. He's talking to some. I doubt he is. He's like crazy for you. Exactly. Oikoa just stared at them. He found Atsumu grinning wickedly. What? What if we make him jealous? That's a wrong thing to do. Exactly. I don't want the man to hate me. Then, stop being a coward. Yeah. Let's talk about how you definitely don't have the hots for your brother's friend. What? You heard him? You. No. I hate that man. He's so rude and stuck up. I never want a man like that. MHM. Akashi teased Atsumu mercilessly while he dramatically pretended to gag at the suggestion of being paired with Sakuatsu, the meticulous, standoffish guy with a deep-seated aversion to everything alive. Atsumu couldn't fathom how his twin brother, Osamu, could forge a bond with someone so different. He grumbled about Sakuatsu's good looks not matching his unpleasant demeanor, but quickly backtracked, insisting it was a momentary lapse in judgment. Guys. Yeah? I'm bored. Same. Then do something doofus. I can kick you out my house. Fine. What do you want to do then? Oh. I know. We can go ice skating. That doesn't sound bad. I'm scared of falling. No. Okay then what do you guys want to do? We can get food. Or an arcade. Those sound good. That sounds alright. Atsumu and Oikoa piled into Akashi's car, ready for a casual outing. Akashi navigated through the city streets as they bantered and exchanged playful jabs. Their destination was a cozy ramen joint known for its rich broth and authentic flavors. Oh, a ramen place. Yum. Who's paying? It's on me. Thank you, bae. As they arrived, the chilly evening air greeted them, a stark contrast to the warmth inside the car. Atsumu suddenly realized he had forgotten to bring a sweater, and the cold seemed to seep into his bones. Despite his discomfort, he laughed it off, joking about his forgetfulness as they entered the bustling restaurant. Inside, the aroma of simmering broth and sizzling toppings enveloped them, instantly lifting their spirits. They settled into a booth, chatting animatedly about recent volleyball matches and upcoming tournaments. Akashi ordered his favorite ramen, while Atsumu and Oikoa debated between spicy or miso-based options. Then they saw three familiar people. Isn't that your Iwa-chan? The brunette turned around and stared at the three people entering the restaurant. Ashijima, Sakuatsu, and his Iwaizumi. They weren't dating, just friends. Atsumu noticed the expression on his face. The brunette had come to hang out with them because Iwaizumi had said he was busy with schoolwork and staying home. He said he was busy. I guess he got bored of me. Carver, don't even say that. There might be a good reason, right? Can we talk about this later? He's coming inside the restaurant. Oikoa fought back tears, biting his lip. Akashi gently wiped away his tears and encouraged Oikoa to rest his head on his shoulder. It's fine. We can eat up, and then go to Tsumu's house after. Babes, you gotta eat. Atsumu took Oikoa's chopsticks and fed him while wiping away his tears. He understood Oikoa's dramatic nature but felt compelled to comfort him nonetheless. After Oikoa, Atsumu, and Akashi finished eating, Atsumu paid the bill, sensing Oikoa's sadness. Iwaizumi noticed Oikoa, but leaning on Akashi and felt uncomfortable witnessing it, burdened by guilt for neglecting Oikoa. Iwaizumi sensed someone's gaze on him and glanced up to find Atsumu staring, a mixture of concern and anger on his face. The intensity of his expression caused Iwaizumi's complexion to pale. Atsumu gestured silently for him to follow to the back of the restaurant. I'll be right back. Where are you going? Somewhere. Alright. We are going to continue this conversation after I come back. The brunette dashed to catch up with the faux blonde. What was that about? Don't know. Don't care. So. Why'd you blow off Carver? I didn't. You quite literally did. I didn't mean to. Yeah. MHM. Alright. Like I'll believe you. Just believe me. Why is that? You literally blew him off. Lied to him about being busy. Then came here to hang out with your little friends. Atsumu was becoming so agitated that Iwaizumi struggled to understand him. His accent thickening noticeably. Look. I sort of made a mistake. Yeah, sure did. It's not my fault. Not your fault. Huh. You're gonna make me laugh. Amuse me. I was planning something. I understand your frustration, but I have been working on this for months. And that is? Please don't laugh. Why would I laugh? Alright. The shorter male whispered words that were barely audible. What was that? I was planning on confessing. To Oikoa. Was that so hard to say? His demeanor softened, and as he started to walk away, he paused to pat Iwaizumi's shoulder and whispered something in his ear. I'm rooting for you. Don't mess this up. He began walking into the restaurant but then halted abruptly, turning around. Make sure to clear this problem up. Give him the attention he needs. After Atsumu left, Iwaizumi decided to take a short breather, repeating Atsumu's words to himself over and over. After a while, he made his way back into the restaurant. So? It was nothing. MHN. You're telling me you, and that annoying guy with the blonde hair, talked about nothing? I mean, it is his business. So. Exactly. Carver. Just don't worry about it now. Can I just text my old situationship? Please? Tears welled in Oikoa's eyes as he sobbed quietly. Being ignored by his childhood crush pained him deeply. He yearned for their attention more than anything. No. Akashi snatched the phone out of the brunette's hands. I wanna be loved. Universe, if you hear me, please give me a boyfriend. I'm so using this as blackmail. So. Karaoke? Please. Why do you get to be passenger princess? Just let him. As Oikoa poured his heart out, swirling the drink in his glass with a wistful smile, Atsumu deftly gathered evidence of Koa's future beau's quirks and likes. It was heartwarming to witness Oikoa and Iwaizumi so utterly smitten with each other. Their affection was palpable in the way Oikoa's eyes lit up whenever he spoke of Iwaizumi, and the subtle, tender gestures Iwaizumi made when he thought no one was looking. It was a love story unfolding in gentle whispers and stolen glances. A testament to the unbreakable bond between them that even Atsumu couldn't resist smiling at the sight. Another song began to play. A familiar love ballad that resonated deeply with him. It was one of his all-time favorites, its lyrics etched into his memory. He gently set his phone aside and simply listened, letting the music wash over him. With each note, memories flooded back, weaving together moments cherished and bittersweet, forming a tapestry of emotions that tugged at his heartstrings. The song became a soundtrack to his reflections, blending past and present into a poignant symphony of nostalgia and longing. Everything around him began to fade away, leaving only the lyrics of the song echoing in his ears. The words resonated deeply, striking a chord within him as he pondered their meaning and his own feelings. Atsumu watched Oikoa intently, unfazed by any mistakes in recalling the lyrics. He chuckled softly, finding the situation endearing and perhaps a bit amusing, realizing how deeply Oikoa was affected by the song.
시간만큼 늘어난 기댄 어쩌면 당연할지도 몰라. 수많은 외침도 서로의 마음엔 닿지 못한 채 그렇게 흘러가기도 했지만 So whenever you ask me again how I feel, please remember my answer is you. 먼 길을 다시 돌아간다 해도 난 여전히 같은 맘일 테니까 We'll be alright, I want to try again.
He glanced over at Akashi, who was also singing along to the song. Inspired by the moment, Atsumu pulled out his phone and quietly started recording, already imagining the smile on Akashi's husband's face when he showed him later. It struck him as humorous how both he and Akashi seemed to navigate their unique love lives, each with its own twists and turns. As the lyrics of the song filled the room, Atsumu couldn't help but reflect on his own desires. He yearned to be loved deeply, to feel the warmth of someone's embrace, and to know that someone's eyes were solely focused on him. It was a sentiment that resonated strongly within him, especially in moments like these when the emotions stirred by music seemed to amplify his longing. After the song ended, they decided to head back to Atsumu's house. Akashi was completely intoxicated, a clingy and affectionate drunk yearning for his husband's presence. Meanwhile, Oikoa had succumbed to a melancholic drunken state, tearfully calling out for his Iwa-chan. Atsumu never drove himself because there was little point to when either Samu or Akashi would drive him. Despite this, he was fully capable of driving and knew how to operate a car proficiently. He took Akashi's keys from him and carefully placed both Akashi and Oikoa in the backseat of the car, ensuring they were securely buckled up and wouldn't fall. Atsumu managed to settle them despite Oikoa stumbling and leaning, and Akashi mistaking him for Bakuto in his intoxicated state. After ensuring they were safely situated, Atsumu locked the rear doors for their safety and then took the driver's seat. The journey back to his home was typically a 25-minute drive, though traffic made it a quiet and somewhat lengthy trip this time. Both Akashi and Oikoa had already passed out in the back, leaving Atsumu to navigate the roads homeward in peace. Atsumu arrived at his second-floor apartment, and deactivated the child lock before carefully bringing Oikoa inside first. He gently laid him down on the couch, making sure he was comfortable, before heading back out for Akashi. To his surprise, he hadn't indulged in any alcohol at all. The earlier rain had left a chill in the air, causing Atsumu's exposed arms to prickle with goosebumps. He brushed off the discomfort and swiftly brought Akashi inside, settling him on the other couch, removing their shoes and coats. Atsumu draped blankets over both of them and placed pillows for added comfort. He adjusted the air conditioning to ensure they wouldn't overheat, then fetched water and pills, leaving them on the nearby table for when they woke. Before taking a moment to gather fresh clothes for himself and shower, Atsumu ensured everything was in place to keep Akashi and Ikoa comfortable and safe throughout the night. Atsumu undressed, carefully peeling off his clothes before stepping into the shower. He lathered his hair with purple shampoo, ensuring every strand was coated to banish any hint of the dreaded yellow hue. The hot water cascaded over him, washing away the events of the evening and leaving him refreshed. Stepping out of the shower, Atsumu towel dried his hair, and slipped into a comfortable pair of shorts and a loose tank top. He diligently brushed his teeth, then moved on to his skincare routine, methodically applying each product with practiced precision. Once his face was moisturized and glowing, Atsumu dried his hair thoroughly, depositing his used clothes into a laundry basket. He grabbed an oversized hoodie for extra warmth and settled down to apply a face mask, simultaneously diving into the work required for his college classes. Each task was carried out with a sense of purpose, the quiet of his apartment providing a calming backdrop to his evening routine. After a few minutes, Atsumu removed the face mask, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. As the hours passed, fatigue gradually overcame him, and he glanced at the clock. It was 1 a.m. Deciding to leave his work as it was, he sighed wearily. The thought of facing dance practice the next day weighed heavily on his mind. Perhaps he could call in sick. His eyelids grew heavy as drowsiness crept in, eventually succumbing to sleep. Atsumu found himself in a dream unlike any he had experienced before. It was a warm summer day, the sun casting a golden hue over everything around him. He was walking along a bustling street lined with quaint shops and cafes, the air filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and blooming flowers. As he strolled, Atsumu noticed a figure ahead of him, a man who stood taller and slightly more muscular than himself, with an air of quiet confidence. His heart skipped a beat as he recognized this man as his ideal type, the one he had always imagined meeting. The man turned towards Atsumu, and although his face was blurred, Atsumu could make out certain details: jet black hair that gleamed in the sunlight, and piercing black eyes that seemed to look straight into his soul. There was a warmth in those eyes that drew Atsumu in, a kindness that made him feel instantly at ease. "Hey there." The man greeted him with a smile, his voice gentle yet firm. "Enjoying the day?" Atsumu nodded, feeling a strange mix of excitement and curiosity. "Yeah. It's beautiful out here. Do you come here often?" The man chuckled softly, a sound that resonated deeply within Atsumu. "Not really. But today felt like a good day to take a walk." "I'm glad I did." They walked together for what felt like hours, talking about everything and nothing. The man shared stories of his travels and adventures, while Atsumu listened intently, hanging on to every word. There was a natural flow to their conversation, as if they had known each other for years. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the horizon, Atsumu couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. He knew this was just a dream, and soon he would wake up to find himself back in his own reality, alone. "I wish this moment could last forever." Atsumu sighed softly, unable to hide his longing. The man stopped walking and turned to face Atsumu, his blurred features somehow conveying a sense of understanding. "Me too," he murmured, reaching out to gently brush a strand of hair away from Atsumu's face. He placed a kiss on his forehead. "But remember, dreams have a way of showing us what we truly desire." With those words, The dream began to fade. Atsumu felt himself being pulled away from the warmth of the summer day. The sound of the man's voice becoming fainter and fainter. The dream he found himself face to face with his ideal man. Taller and more muscular than himself. This dream guy exuded kindness and warmth. A stark contrast to his confident and sometimes cocky public persona that seemed to attract women effortlessly. Deep down, Atsumu yearned for someone who embodied the tenderness and compassion he saw in his dream companion. He woke up blushing from the dream. In it, he found his ideal type but couldn't bring himself to ask for their name. What if that person actually exists? He's convinced he's seen them somewhere before, but he can't quite place it. Dreams only offer fleeting glimpses, leaving his mind foggy. All he could recall clearly was the gentle kiss on his forehead. He felt his body burning more intensely. Dizziness washed over him suddenly. He had forgotten to turn off the AC before passing out without a blanket yesterday. He also forgot to bring a sweater and got caught in the rain. He attempted to rise, but his body vehemently protested. A fever had overtaken him. Checking the time, it read 8 a.m. with practice scheduled to commence at 10. Atsumu resigned himself to missing it. He detested being ill. With a sigh, he reached for his phone, notifying Komori that he wouldn't be attending practice. Afterwards, he powered off his phone and allowed his heavy eyelids to gently descend, succumbing to rest. Today he should just rest for now. Bonus. Iwaizumi's pop. Iwaizumi decided to take Sakusa and Ashijima out for a day of shopping and ramen. It was no secret to them that Iwaizumi harbored strong feelings for Oikawa. Whenever Oikawa brought up relationships or potential situationships, Iwaizumi couldn't help but confide in Sakusa and Ashijima, often ending up in tears over his unrequited love. They knew him well enough to understand he was a hopeless romantic at heart. Unfortunately, Osasuna was occupied with a date that day, so they couldn't join them to lend Iwaizumi some moral support. As they spent time together, Sakusa and Ashijima couldn't help but notice how everyone seemed utterly smitten with Oikawa. It was evident to them that Iwaizumi wasn't the only one who found themselves wrapped around Oikawa's finger. Iwaizumi's admiration for Oikawa was profound and all-encompassing. To him, Oikawa was perfection personified. It wasn't just the way his hair effortlessly curled at the ends or the captivating depth of his eyes that seemed to hold galaxies within. It was the way Oikawa's entire being seemed to radiate whenever they discussed his passions and interests. Whether it was volleyball strategies, his favorite foods, or even something as mundane as the latest movie, Oikawa's enthusiasm was infectious. And Iwaizumi found himself drawn deeper into the orbit of this charismatic figure. Oikawa wasn't just a childhood best friend to Iwaizumi, he was also the subject of a long-standing crush. One that had silently grown over the years. Their friendship was a comfortable blend of camaraderie and unspoken longing, where Iwaizumi often found himself balancing between being a supportive friend and yearning for something more. In the depths of his heart, he entertained the possibility that their bond could evolve into something deeper. Perhaps even a romantic relationship, though he had never dared to voice this hope aloud. Today was different, though. Today, Iwaizumi had concocted a plan, a half-truth wrapped in the guise of shopping. He had informed Sakusa and Ashijima that he needed to buy things for an upcoming confession to Oikawa. It wasn't entirely a lie. He did need items for the occasion, but the true purpose behind his shopping trip was far more significant.
Satisfaction. Satisfaction.